Good Taste Edibles has something wild dropping soon, and you're gonna want to be ready for it. They took their fan favorite Funfetti Crispy, you know the one that tastes like a party, and they leveled it all the way up. Coming soon, the Fruit Fetty 1000 milligram mega dosed crispy. Same sweet, fruity, marshmallowy goodness, but now with a ridiculous 1000 milligrams of THC. This isn't background edible energy. This is main character energy. Perfect for high tolerance folks or sharing with the crew. Just don't say we didn't warn you. Keep your eyes peeled. Fruit Fetty Mega Crispies are dropping soon.
Welcome to Greenway Audio Magazine. We have a special guest today. We have myself and we have Brandon as always, but this time we have Doug Hall, the president and owner of the Cannabis Agency. Doug, thank you for joining us, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
One quick clarification.
Yeah.
President of the Cannabis Agency, owner of my heart.
Aw. You know what?
Sure.
On that note, I'm actually going to open up with this. I have to give you a little bit of guff, Brandon. I was watching 2 weeks ago. I was watching that episode from 2 weeks ago. You have amazing hair. And every episode you've got a hat on except for one. And I'm like, first of all, I've known Brandon for years now. And I didn't know he had hair for like the first 2 years that we knew each other. He took his hat off one day and I'm like, holy shit, you have a beautiful head of hair.
It's already manicured under there.
I mean, Tim, you have hair, but I mean, in my position, unless you're clubbing it up because you got that club cut, so hair. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But I'm bald as bald can be, and Brandon, you need to like show that mane more often because it is glorious.
Dude.
It's a glorious mane.
Thank you, Doug.
It's a glorious mane, man.
It is. Lucky.
All right, so go.
Look at that.
Dude, that hair is beautiful. Look, it comes out of the hat. So beautiful.
You.
You're gonna be my sexy Santa this year. You already are in my heart.
You are naughty. So, Doug, one of the things we were hoping to chat about, just have a little roundtable discussion here.
Hope it's not a strategy, Tim. Let's just do it.
No, we're not. There's no brainstorming or strategy here. It is literally, being familiar and a huge fan of the RunTHC YouTube channel, especially the Tea with Tammy P.
Yep.
You guys have tons. You guys are just reviewing products, reviewing hardware.
Over 100,000 views now. Yeah.
And crazy. Subscribers, geez, dude. 271 videos.
Yeah, we're only at a little over 700 subscribers. That's the real hard grab with YouTube and thank you with YouTube. And for those that are in cannabis and you guys are doing YouTube and cannabis, it's especially hard. Because you're shadow banned from the jump. You have, really the shadow banning is on other channels, but with YouTube, it's really the age restriction because it makes it incredibly hard to promote. You create friction because if somebody wants to see your video, they've got to sign in, do the whole age thing. And so we've had to really do this organically, which is great. Most of the investments in the editing and equipment and in our time, but and so we didn't put any money in digital on it. We just stuck to a plan, kept a consistent flow of content, and over time let our audience build organically. And what I love about it now is like Tammy and I talk all the time. We just watch the comments come in and watch people. Like I told her at some point they're just going to start handling each other, and now they're doing there's like a little community vibe going on with our followers. And that's where you have something. So I'm very proud of it if you can't tell. And I love working with Tammy. And our little model is perfect. She finds the product. She does her little Tammy thing. She has a group of people that tests everything out. And then she brings it to me. And in typical Doug Hall fashion, I didn't do any homework. I have no idea what's going to get put in front of me. And I just grab it and try to break it. And that is how we give both sides of the gear, tech, smoking, apparatus reviews. It's because there's two types of stoners, the ones that nerd out like her and the ones that run in like a bull, in a China shop like me and just say, where do I put the flame?
Well, and on top of the fact, it's
hard.
Hilarious. Okay. I am in tears with all of your,
there's been some good
comments.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, Tammy and I have such a good cadence and rapport.
Totally.
There's no stepping on each other's toes. We kind of, and it's probably from her personal courtesy to me because I'm just, but we really have a good balance, and that shows. And we both love the plant, and love everything about it. So for us to talk about it, people know it's passionate. But our big thing when we started, and the whole reason we started doing this, is I wanted to have something that was, how do I say this? I didn't want to, mainstream's not the term. I wanted an adults review show that didn't look like, I was in my garage with a bunch of like sticky dab tools in front of me telling people how that's my skull. Like, we wanted to do something that was a little bit more professional, but at the same time, it's weed. I'm not, there's only as professional as I can get, but to produce a professional review page that actually talked about the important things, charging time, cleaning, not just, man, I hit this 7 times and it hit so much harder than the last one. We don't want to do that. We wanted to really just hit people where, get to the people that are actually need to know. And also we wanted to focus on people that didn't know, like just didn't know. Like, we've had a lot of, I'm rambling, but I got to tell you, it's really cool to see. We've done so many dry herb vape reviews, and that's where you start getting that, like, the buzz you used to get when it was just medicinal and you were helping people, because people were like, oh my God, I've got emphysema, or I've got this, and I couldn't find anything. Thank you so much. That's the stuff that makes you feel real great. But also what makes me feel great is when I trash a popular piece and all of their like followers go nuts on me. And it's like, man, you can't say that about Puffco. Puffco users in the weed world are like the Apple users in the real world. It's like, man, that's my thing. I carry it with me like a baby.
Just a reminder, this week's new sponsor is Puffco.
Love their pieces. Great pieces. Hate their users.
I love that you guys have comments and stuff. I think the comments that Brandon, I don't know if you've ever seen. One was get a personality guy. That was probably towards me. And then there was another one that says something like, this sucks, grow your own. Those are probably our most popular comments.
My favorite one for me was, dude tries too hard to be funny. And I'm like, joke's on you. I'm not even trying at all, dude. I'm just fucking talking. I might not be funny, but I ain't giving any effort to this shit. But yeah, no, it's, and I'll be honest, I was worried at first that they were going to hone in on Tammy, because the internet's a mean place, and women, get a pretty bad, talking to out there a lot of times in this world. But they just came in on me, and I was like, bring it. And that was a good lesson for both of us, because I was like, because Tammy was protective in the beginning. She'd like kind of like snap back or put a thumbs down, like, no. I had like the easy E approach. I'm like, they're buying our albums. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. Like, let them comment. Just let them comment. Like, if they call my mama a whore, whatever, she ain't. So it was like, that kind of opened the door. So when Tammy finally first got her critical review, she's like, I got my first hate comment. She was like doing like somersaults, running around and like all happy. And I'm like, all right, good, we're there. But it doesn't matter. I mean, the funny thing is that it's anytime you call out like a troll, they're immediately like, hey man, sorry, geez, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Like, they don't look at you as a real thing until you talk back. And there's been a couple where in the beginning when she was like, it was typical of Tammy, like, well, sorry you feel that way. She wasn't mean, but the person's like, hey, I was just making a comment. Like, they were pushed back that we pushed back. Right. It's like they look at it like, this is a free forum for us to give you as much shit as we want. You put yourself out there. So, and we're very fortunate. I don't think we get very many bad reviews or bad comments.
No.
The funny thing is, if you really want to, we had one guy, and you can find it's the, I'll even say, I don't know if you should, it's the Invincipipe. It's up there. We did the review. Tammy loved it, talked about how she used it and keeps it by her bed. And it's perfect for her. I didn't realize how bad I trashed it until I went back and watched it a second time. And I gave it a proper trouncing. At one point I said, I feel like this thing was just built at a Fish concert as people passed the pipe around different communities or whatnot. Like, it didn't have, like, it wasn't great, but I wasn't happy with it. But that was just my review. I said I wasn't big a pipe guy. Well, apparently the owner of that company only did pay to play up until this point. So they're like, take it down, Tammy's like, look, we give honest reviews. Everybody, we tell you when you submit, that's the way it is. The guy's like, I have this many life-saving patents, and I'm not with that pipe. I mean, I'm not reviewing, a pacemaker here. Thank God. But I hate to have that guy's pacemaker. But then, like, we started getting phantom comments, and the guy English was his second language or third, I don't know. But so you could tell by the way the comment was written and it was him or somebody that knew him, and it was always like, these people not know what they're talking about. Stupid review, like bad. The funniest part about all of it is we sell those pipes like crazy. We get kickbacks on his pipes all the time. People buy pipes from that ad. That dude has to pay us commission, and he still wants us to take the thing down.
Wow.
Like, bro, who cares what I said? We're still selling the damn pipe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. Having patents.
I do not read comments. I do not engage on social media and stuff like that. I used to. So whenever we first started Greenway, I was very active in a lot of the back then Facebook threads and stuff like that, because we started before there were dispensaries open. We started before there were any businessing. We started at the beginning. Nobody had licenses yet whenever we started. The rules weren't written whenever we started. We were literally sitting there covering the writing of the rules in real time whenever nothing else. No one else, nothing else existed that did that. The closest thing was Marijuana Moment on a national scale, and they were giving you, information a few weeks sometimes after it was coming out about things that were, already way past done. They were talking about, federal integration on state level. Nobody was doing it anyway. I'm rambling right now because we invested a lot of time into the community in the early days, and we went out. I was a member of growers groups and stuff. I was telling people what the home grow regulations were like after we finally got rules passed and stuff. I was explaining how to get your medical card and stuff. And then as soon as businesses opened and people started, going to dispensaries and things like that, you get the people on the other side that are constantly like, home grows better. This is a ripoff. It's as soon as licenses are awarded, this is a cartel. This is a monopoly. This is, all these different things. And realistically, the most simple version is it was a really good process that they set up, executed poorly. There wasn't this grand conspiracy. It was an inefficiency. But the thing that drove me away from social media, it made me lock all my profiles, stop interacting with the public, and never read a comment again, was we got doxxed. Me and my wife at the time both got doxxed.
I had no idea that happened.
We had things sent to our house. We had a person that at the time was a pretty well-known, social person in this area, and had a pretty successful platform. He essentially got frustrated. Further down the road, everyone would come to find out that he had pretty severe, problems that weren't getting handled with medication and therapy and stuff like that. But in that moment, he told a bunch of people that, there were a bunch of untrue things, and then we got doxxed. There were things sent to our house. My profile was public at the time, so I had people say things about my children in my work email. And so I locked everything down. I stopped interacting, and we didn't do anything other than business. We didn't do any social interactions. We didn't we didn't have events or anything like that. We launched the industry with a Greenway event and then didn't have one again for 3 years.
When did you do that?
So we did our first Greenway event before any of the operations were open.
Yeah,
so that was 2019, 2020. And then we didn't do our next event until we partnered with you a couple years later for the
that was 21.
series.
That was 21 when we did the tour, the first Greenway tour. I thought you guys hadn't done one since like 18 or 17 or 18. But
no, we did the mixer. So we did our launch event and stuff like that, but then we did the mixer right after the licensees had their mandatory meeting.
The mixer tied to the Midwest Can Expo, right?
So it actually wasn't tied to that. It happened right after it. But it was tied to the licensees had a mandatory first meeting that time wise happened to be 2 days after or a day after Midwest Canna Expo, MoCan, BizCon, whatever it was, the first or second time. And the licensees, every licensee in the state had to come back for it. It was a mandatory meeting, and it was where they got walked through initial compliance and what they were going to be looking for in order to commence operations and things like that. And then we had our mixer that night, and the next day, maybe 2 days later, I think the date was back there, but within 2 or 3 days, the state shut down. Because COVID hit in 2020.
Well, that was 19,
so,
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was right after. So, but yeah, we got doxxed, and that's
Brutal.
I just realized that Tim just made the face of, oh, that's where that discussion was going, because they got off track.
No, that's me. Like, who's interviewing who here?
Terrible.
Tell me more about that time, Brendan. No, actually, it's crazy because you forget. I think we've gotten so comfortable even with just how free it is. You know, I was thinking about I got in trouble years ago and caught my felony. First, I was going to say first one, caught a felon, and in cannabis, and it like the amount that I was picked up with, I could purchase legally as a citizen today in 2 visits to a dispensary. And I was facing potential, prison time. Like, so so to even think about 5 years ago, or 5 years ago, right. 6 years ago, when this was a political thing, that people were in a position where it was like, you could still have that much vitriol and that much, just drama around it. Because it's like, what'd you guys say on the, we did like 4.2 or 4.3 million a day.
Right.
It's a very, very, very different time, and
yes.
I think and I'm not trying to do we had to grow weed uphill both ways when I was a kid, but I'm just saying that, it's for those of people that remember, especially like before this, but the 80s and 90s was not a fun time for people who smoked weed. It was almost worse then than it was in like the 60s and 70s, because it was kind of just like a counterculture thing. Then it became like a drug war thing. And it was, I don't think there's people in this industry that'll ever know what the feeling is of driving a car with a bag of weed in your pocket and not thinking about anything else except not getting pulled over for the entire trip.
Right. Jeez.
Like crazy that you would even get doxxed. I'm sure, hopefully that person has gotten the help they need and move to a better.
My understanding is they are.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I
Good.
think they're doing
They don't mail you a Christmas card or anything, do they? I think since they have your address.
No.
Oh,
God. They reached out and apologized a couple years later.
Okay, good.
By mail or did they call?
They
posted on my Facebook page.
I got a nice letter.
Certified mail.
It was a social media thing.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, I was talking to Brandon about this. I guess earlier this week, a bunch of sports legends from across all sports sent a letter to our president being like, hey, remember, we've been talking about doing this for a while. The previous administration said they were going to do some stuff. Nothing really panned out like we were hoping. What's going on here? So it's like Mike Tyson, Kevin Durant, Allen Iverson, Des Bryant, our boy and fan of the show, Kyle Turley, Jim McMahon, Ricky Williams, all this. So they're trying to bring it back. What?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there anybody on there that doesn't own a weed business? Because everybody you just listed owns a weed business.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if J.R. Smith does. I would say probably 80%.
I was going to say, how many people in sports and the media that are known for smoking weed don't own a weed business or a brand at this
That's
point.
very true.
Or aren't licensed to a brand at this point.
Even people who weren't known for smoking weed now have weed brands and stuff
Right.
too.
Like freestyle bicycling and skateboarding when I was a kid, everybody had some sort of weird sponsorship once they got decent. It was like, this guy gave me a free board. This people are actually giving me cash. Who are you getting free shit from? It's like, once you're in, you're in. But I can't see. I mean, if you're a celebrity and you want, and you're public about your consumption, isn't it just a smart business move to have your brand aligned with something that's going to make a profit for it?
I don't disagree. It's just an interesting thing that I caught as he was reading it. I was
for sure.
Every single name
It makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
some of my favorite weed companies are owned by celebrities right now. So
some of my favorite
What would
celebrities
those
are owned
be?
by weed companies.
do what?
I said some of my favorite celebrities are owned by weed companies.
What, Brandon, what are some of those?
Turley's Revenant brand, and then Jim McMahon's also a part of their company, and I'm a big fan of Viola. I think they've done
Al
a great
Harrington.
job. Al and Abe, and they partnered with Allen Iverson a couple years ago. Obviously, Gary Payton's making money off of licensing his name.
Oh, yeah.
There's I
Was Gary
Doug-
Payton around as a strain before Gary Payton was licensing his name to it?
yes.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that was like I was smoking Gary Payton before Gary Payton can make a profit off of me smoking
Yeah.
Gary Payton.
Yeah, no,
Like, there's no way I
it
was sitting there
totally
going,
was.
I hope Gary Payton's getting paid for this shit.
But he does. But I, if I remember correctly, he does have like a licensing deal with Cookies because not only do they use his name, but on their packaging they actually use his picture.
You
Yeah.
ever seen the recording of Connie Chung when she's doing the podcast with Maury and she's talking about how there's a weed named after her?
No.
It's great. So P, I guess they were both retired, so they just record videos in their basement because they're married to each other. And if you guys don't know
they're married,
Connie Chung was a newscaster
yeah.
in New York when I grew up, so I'm very familiar with Connie Chung.
Yes.
But there's a strain called Connie Chung, and watching the two of them, who are not stoners, I don't even know if they smoke, have ever smoked, having a conversation about finding out you have a weed strain named after you. Like Google it or showing them from the clips, and it's hysterical because it's like watching your grandparents like find your weed and then finding out their names on it or something. Like it was really like great, but she's clearly not getting paid for it because she sits on the end. She's like, I wish, but Connie was smart. She'd go out and license them to somebody.
Exactly.
And that's the play.
I wonder how Alaska felt about Thunderfuck.
As a state,
Yeah.
All of Alaska, just like
Pride,
whenever
I
they
would
found
assume.
out, they're like, that's Ross. That's
Yeah.
nice. Fuck
So, Doug,
Northern
what-
Lights. This is the real Alaska right here.
after Palin screwed all that shit up, all they had was Thunderfuck. All we had left was Thunderfuck.
Doug, what are some of your favorite brands right now?
Brands? It's like, first of all, I'm bad with favorites and best of any lists or anything because I'm between my ADHD and my OCD, I'm like gonna get down to like
okay,
picking
current.
my favorite movie. I'm like, go with genre, recent, which decade. But I'll tell you what my
Right.
favorite new stuff I see coming out right now. I'm wearing an Emma Leaf hat right now, but they're those pocket J's.
Yeah.
Holy freaking shit! And I know it's Tammy or some. It's really I'm not even plugging Tammy on this one. Literally, plugging Tammy sounded weird. I really like, and I'm not the only. People freak out about those pocket J's. And here, shit. Oh! We work with these guys too. I'm gonna be like the sports thing you just said. It's like, how many of these brands does Doug not have some sort of a business with? I actually do no business with Emma Leaf, just to be clear. It's
I know.
But I did just do some work with these guys. These guys are new to the market, dialed in.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Love Dialed In. I love them in other states.
Yeah.
So I'm
Denver.
interested.
You love them
I
just the
have not
same
tried 'em
here.
yet.
They're a great team. They're, Max over there, Van Sulis. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not Nordic enough or whatever, but Max is awesome. He runs the show over there. The team is great. The product is amazing. They're all full spectrum rosin, which is their whole claim. The funny thing is that, me, my talent is ridiculous. And so
Yes.
you could shoot me with
Yes.
heartfelt and tranquilizers and I'd still operate heavy machinery. But in this case, we were at the St. Louis rollout, and there was an excess. My team was doing the sampling, obviously, because we, that loophole game we all play.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an excess, and so it was like at the end of the staff, everybody had them. So as a joke, I'd been just going like through and just eating like to freak people out. They're like, "Oh my god!" And they just eat like another 5 more and walk by. And so I was like, "You me okay?" It's like a joke the team likes to do. Like, let's see Doug consume something that scares somebody. And I realized that you put that much in your stomach the next morning, you should not have any meetings between 8 and 10 a.m. Because I told somebody, I'm like, oh, my whole morning was screwed up. And like, oh, did you get too high? I'm like, no, my fucking gut was like, dude, all you had was 2 slices of pizza and about a pound of fucking gelatin or whatever the hell was in there. It was the opposite of what those Herbo ads are like. It wasn't like it was flying out of me. It was like I had negotiated on everything. It was like pushing legislation with DHSS. Every single piece of shit that I had to get through just to satisfy somebody. Anyway.
Oh, Doug.
Great gummies. Don't eat 4 bags worth and then plan to have them more.
Blue Sage is now open in Belton, their first dispensary in the Kansas City area and 5th overall in Missouri. Located at 17015 Belray Boulevard, Blue Sage Belton brings their signature deli-style experience to KC with the widest selection of Vivid Flower and first access to the latest drops. You've seen them in St. Louis. You've seen them in Lebanon, Carthage, Valley Park. Now it's time to come see your buds in Belton. Hey, we talk about the good stuff, they sell the good stuff. It's a perfect match. Browse the menu and daily deals at cannabisdeli.com. See you in Belton.
But that's amazing. I'll get back to the whole discussion. And look, I've heard these guys from the jump. I can't, every time I see any of them, whether it's Boston, Montana, even Tony, and like, I'm like, I love you guys. I love what you're doing.
So good.
I love that you're freaking OG State. I love that you're killing it, OG State. And the funny thing is I grow, so I'm usually consuming my own most of the time. I'm pretty snobby about it, but so the team is always, there's always something. Actually, you should probably ask my team what's hot right now, but if you're going to ask, but what I'm loving too is these, anything that's coming out of Vivid right now. Their pre-roll game's been nuts. And obviously we could talk about Florida Kush all day, but this Compound Z, this little dog walker Compound Z, it blew my tits off. It was, I think that's a technical term, but yeah, just insane with those guys. And they're all about the data. That's what I love about it is like,
Yeah,
it's perfect. It's not commercialized though. It's like somebody knows how to grow good dope and they just get it out at scale, and got to have mad respect for them. And
yeah.
not that it's funny, I'm not on them now, not that it would seem like it, but gotta love the 1906. We stack in the office too. A lot of people do the Go and the Genius or whatever, but I like these because I have to take certain meds for like my ADHD and stuff, and this helps me not have to take as many as I normally have to take. It's like a nice little bump afterwards. But one of all the products that Stash House is putting out right now, and this being one of them. And yes, they are a client, full disclaimer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I get it.
Picking a favorite brand's picking a favorite child. But honestly, there's some of our brands out there have just done some amazing shit. I love Amaze. I love everything Amaze does. I think those guys are awesome over there.
Shout out to Stephanie.
Yeah, Stephanie's a beast. She's like equal parts like grit and tenacity and sunshine and love. It's insane.
Yes, exactly.
She's like rainbow bright with like a fucking sales portfolio. It's the woman just dude sunlight. But yeah, I just and that's also great when a brand actually has like a team and a culture against, and their group is great. And when you catch that, and I'll give shout outs to these guys that both Smokies and Vibe, who aren't direct clients mostly, they'll do events with me in time to time, but we just did their after party at Q2. Love everything that's coming out of those shops, the collaborations they're doing, the way they package their stuff, their brands, and then talk about people like like a Bruce and Emily from Smokies, Tara from over at Vibe, like the whole group, all of them are just in the cut, and they know, like, when we will produce that event for them, it was like the best, because it's like you're producing with somebody that gets it. And it was also like, we know what you do. Here's what we do. Take what we do and do what you do. And that's also when I sometimes I'm a little biased, because it's not even about the product, even though their products are amazing. It's also about, how does that company operate? How do they handle themselves?
Yes.
What are they doing out there?
Yes.
I'm not trying to be all hippy dippy, but the culture and the cause is kind of what keeps the business alive. And it's why we sell so much weed in the first place, and why people are so comfortable smoking so much here. We're in the middle of the country. It's got to be a cultural vibe to have these kind of numbers. And so seeing that and feeling that, and, you know, we get the pleasure of, you know, grouping together every quarter and commiserating or celebrating or whatever it might be. And I think that also helps bring the brands to light that people need to know and or participate with. I love what Pyro's doing right now. And, you know, because they're bringing something different to the space. They've got their cones, there's a lot of variety in their stuff. It's not just, here's another vape product, here's another gummy product. I mean, we're gummy heavy. That's why I got to throw props to the guys over at Dialed In. They got over 100 stores 6 weeks into the market.
Right.
You know how hard that is?
Right.
That is with gummies?
Well, it's weird. It's weird milligrams, right? And it's all full spectrum. So
the MGs are standardized. It's 10 for 10.
Oh, are they? I thought they were like 400 or 250 or something.
But the ones that they're all 10 for 10.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that was the full spectrum.
And then they had a 2-to-1. I think their pomegranate, was it? Yeah, which is good. That was their 2-to-1 with CBD or CBG. Anyway, I don't know. I don't want to misquote it and then, you know, get an email from Max like, thanks for the love, but everything you said was wrong about our product. So I'm going to stop before I misquote a profile on something that I'm consuming. But yeah, I love everything Vivid's pushing all day long. I feel like somebody's going to get mad at me later for not naming them. But, and look, we love all the brands we work with.
Yeah, we do.
Stereo this year. Speaking of, we did some great stuff. You know, my 2 titles at Mardi Gras, Carrio and Kind Goods, I love both of those brands and the people there, you know? Oh. But it's really just comes down to who's cool in the community. And I always say it's like 80-90% of the people you meet and work with in this industry are pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we have
them. Not always the easiest to work with, but they're pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, you're cool, I need you to answer an email. And it's always, sorry, bro, I'll get back to you.
Sometimes there's a disconnect there. Yeah.
You're cool. You're 90 days past due. Don't make that face. I just caught up on somebody that was almost 360. Oh. Yeah. We came all the way around, girl.
What are some events that you have coming up? What's the next big one that we should know about?
The next big one is GrowFest. Coming up in, and we're not doing a lot of heavy this summer. I told my clients that if they wanted to do any of the events, we'll make that deal happen. But I'm not gonna. Summer's a tough time to like predict what's gonna work, and a lot of times, and now honestly, since we do so many, our whole thing is not creating the event unless somebody pays me to do it. Like a Mocan hires me to produce an event. Our stuff is usually clinging on to a public event because that was our whole MO was how do we get into the mainstream? Not how do we create something for stoners to go to? How do we create a place for stoners at something they're probably already going to be at and they don't have a place to be? And then the other thing, the angle we were playing, and rightfully so, is we anticipated there was going to be a cut in alcohol over time, which means that venues were going to have less revenue in that area. And we figured if we come in at the right time and bring in cannabis sponsorships, we could fill that gap and get a red carpet into most of these events. And that worked. It worked so well that they don't need us anymore to get into these events. So I don't necessarily want to be the guy in between being like, you have to pay me unless I'm offering value or I own it outright. Like Mardi Gras cost me close to $100,000 to produce. That's my thing. I have no problem charging what I'm going to fucking charge for it. It's not like I'm just taking a Mardi Gras sponsorship and throwing $1,000 on it and giving them a cannabis tax. I'm buying out an entire piece of property at a major event. I'm spending money just like the major brands are. But that is something that I will, put everything in and put behind. So Mardi Gras is still happening, obviously. And GrowFest, we have a great partnership with, and these are the things we get to grow. So this year, it's the 20th anniversary of GrowFest. I think they booked Dougie Fresh. Not this one, but the real one.
Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew?
I don't know if the whole crew can make it. I have to check. Some of them might be.
Might not be around here.
I can look it up while we're talking, but yeah, it's a 20th anniversary. It's big, and we have the entire chunk of Sarah between Banaventer and Shoto. So now instead of us we used to have like the row right in front of the stage. Now we're like stage left, and we have that whole area. So we'll be able to turn the whole thing out into more of a. We had 700 people through the tent, our 10 by 15 tent last year at GrowFest. We did 10,000 at Mardi Gras. We had almost 10,000 people walk through that setup in Mardi Gras. It's nuts. Let's see if they count about their count. This is how my pitches go. Who's going to be there, Doug? I don't know. Let's look it up together. Let's take this journey together. I don't know what I'm selling. Did you guys announce bands? Did I just accidentally announce your act? Did I just out your act for the year? So maybe or maybe not. It's Dougie Fresh. I'm not saying. Okay. In their defense, they're it's CID. Their district is also the north side, so they're dealing with some tornado stuff right now. Probably haven't had time to let us know if Dougie Fresh is going to be here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another example of our partnerships. Those are the two that we're doing, the GrowFest, which people love, and then Mardi Gras this year. Actually, I can make this announcement because it's mine. We are upgrading once again. Last year we were on the parade route, which was a pretty big deal. The first time to be front and center because we spent a lot of time like matriculating into their system and building this relationship of trust and making sure we've 3 years in a row now, 4 years in a row, and no incidents. Not even a puker. Fights, nothing. For Mardi Gras, that's crazy. Like we're like that one spot in a hurricane that doesn't get hit, and it's nice. So this year, we thought like the parade route was going to be like the pinnacle, because they are doing some reconfiguring of where the Bud Light tent will be. We will be taking over Soulard Market Park. So we'll have 20,000 feet of full gated cannabis experience during the entire event. We're in the center of it all. So we'll actually have the most crowded street post parade to throw beads to from our section. Stage. Thank you. And so it's a little intimidating because this is going to be an even bigger venture than before. But it adds an opportunity for us to really create an experience of people that they can walk into rather than walk through, and give them an opportunity to kind of like emerge in that experience without it just being a stop on the way to something else. And what we found, I was actually talking to Tim Morrison, the executive director of Mardi Gras. We had a meeting actually yesterday, and it's like this was something we were doing for Mardi Gras attendees before. Now we have an audience that comes specifically for this, like would not normally go to Mardi Gras but come to our Mardi Gras event because of what we do. I mean, last year, let's be honest, I don't want to talk too much about it because like DCR has got to watch this, but if I'm still above the law or within the law, which one did I say? Was that Freudian? But anyway, we put out like 20 elbows worth of stuff, I think, at Mardi Gras, at least in equivalence. Like 10,000 people, you think that's not actually a ton. Now it's about a sample each, but yeah. And
is that the news? Next year you're moving a ton, 2,000 pounds. Doug guarantees it. 2,000 pounds moved in
I'm
one
just
day.
gonna take a big sticker that says Farm Act, it's hemp 0.03%, and then they'll go, oh, okay, and they'll walk away.
Yep.
Because that's all it takes is a sign that says hemp. We can talk about that too if you want. I'll talk about it.
It's weird how the legal part gets out there.
Oh my gosh. Doug, actually, I did want to bring up the Hash Up Mashup, which could be one of the coolest names of an event ever.
Hash Up Mashup.
And what an idea, too. I've been before with Tammy. I think we won, if I recall.
Well, you guys were at the pilot, actually.
Right. Yes.
So that was like 3 softwares ago. That was 3 years ago. That's crazy.
And it was
We've
still
been doing it publicly now for almost, I think we're at 2 years.
Oh my god!
So it's been going on every Thursday for 2 years now. And I shout out to our sponsors at Stash House because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to pull it off. Because at one point we were selling this to multiple sponsors, and I'm like, I just gotta find somebody that'll just be like, just make it theirs. I don't, because I can't go out and be like, yep, $100. Yeah, and it's like, so I love those guys, and they have so many brands. So that's the other nice thing about it is my prize is everything we're featuring. It's not like it's just the same thing all the time.
Right.
But for those that don't know, and it's funny you say the idea. It's my idea, but it was.
I know it was.
I brought the ADHD quite a bit today, but I would sit in my hot tub probably for sensory reasons, and I think they just haven't extended the spectrum to me yet. I'm like just waiting for that dial to hit and be like, I told you guys, but I knew I didn't need to go to school. So
explain hash up mashup like the.
Oh yeah.
Explain what it is.
And I listen to mashups, and I do that because it calms my brain. Because I'm like, instead of
explain what a mashup is.
You take two songs, you jam them together. If the beat structure fits and everything else, people love it because they hear two familiar songs. They're usually getting a hook from one song and they're getting a chorus from another. So it allows people to, and it's really communal because what it is basically two songs mixed together, mashed together. Yeah. I used to listen to them so I can listen to music, and also instead of thinking about something I didn't want to think about, I would literally think about, oh wait, who is the band in this? Who's the artist?
Oh my gosh.
And so it would give me something to do while listening to the music because that's how nuts I am. And I'm sitting there that night, I'm like, oh, this would be a cool game show or a trivia. So I go to the office the following Monday, it was like 3-4 years ago, and we used Covey grids back then to stack our responsibilities. And so, the Covey grid is 1, 2, 3, 4 priority wise and importance wise. And you get to the 4, it's not urgent nor important. And so the team got real used to telling me my ideas with 4s a lot because it's a nice way to say that's a great idea, Doug, but we got shit that's working on right now. So I was ready to get a 4. I was like, hey guys, I got this idea. I'm on my own team. I'm like, I know they're not going to like it. I'm like, what if we did, mashups, but we made it a trivia night and we can, get sponsors. And I'm sitting there ready to get backlash. And Mitch, who, he's a great guy, not with us. He's still alive. He's not with the company anymore. He's like, actually, we have all the equipment and ability to do that. And I'm like, well, our holiday party's coming up. What if we just did it for that? And that was February. We were out back at Trops, which is funny because now it is at Trops. It wasn't. We did it at the Get Down for over a year. It was cold. And Tim, there. People did not go inside. They
I never did.
We had our PA out there and everybody's playing on their phones there. It was before we had everything wired for, now you can do it from the comfort of the bathroom if you want. But it's at that point we're like, okay, we're on to something.
Yeah.
A few months went by. I'm at one of the local watering holes down around here. I'm at the Get Down. I'm sitting there drinking. They had one of the worst trivia nights I've ever seen in my life. This guy, I don't know where they found this guy. I don't know if he just told them he did trivia and then figured it out as he went. But it was who was the old talk show host? Ed no, it was
Sullivan.
Yeah, it was straight talk. Was it Ed Sullivan? It was Ed Sullivan and Jeff Goldblum got into the machine instead of the Fly and Jeff Goldblum. And this guy came out and it was really bad. So they got rid of him and they're like, well, we don't know what we're going to do on our trivia night, which is on Tuesdays. And I'm like, hey, I got this thing that we did. And I tell them about it and they're like, no, that's not a Tuesday thing. That's a Thursday thing. You want to do Thursdays? And I'm like, yeah, sure. When can I start? Next week? And so I go back to the team. I'm like, hey, now we're doing hash up mashup. And that was, this is it. And it's not a 4 now. I made a commitment. And from there, I have a team and God bless them. Rachel writes the questions every week. Does 60 something questions because there's 3 7 song rounds, 3 questions per song. So on average, and Jamie just retired, but we have a team of people that go out and host and do all that stuff. And it's fun. We've done it for people's holiday parties. Home State used to do it for their bartender appreciation nights. We do customized ones where we put in questions that fit the client, but it was all just something that came out of my ass in the hot tub. Again, something that doesn't sound right, especially when there's a guy cleaning it. I could see it from here. That's not my fault. So I swear that's mildew. I swear. Why does he have a black light? So Probably, I swear it's the energy drink. So yeah, I mean, Hash Up Mashup has become its thing, and now it's kind of evolved too. Because now on Thursdays we roll into Puff Puff Pass the Mic, which is currently sponsored by Heartland and Luxury Leaf, and that's comedy. It's open mic, and it's every Thursday. And then because I'm a glutton for punishment, we're also doing it at the Purple Quarters on Tuesday nights, which was owned by the guys that on the Get Down. So Tuesdays we do Puff Puff Pass the Mic, and every Tuesday for the summer through Labor Day from like 8 on, and then Thursdays it's Hash Up Mashup 7 to 9, and then Puff Puff Pass the Mic till about 11.
Jeez, dude.
But I have one of the best consumer databases now, because the big thing with Hash Up Mashup is you can send every survey out all day long. You can ask people what they buy, what they don't buy, what they're not going to tell you. They don't care. If you give them a coupon, they'll just fill in the blanks, but you're just going to get it right down the line. You put it in a game and give them points for it, and ask them if they use the drive-through at their local dispensary, or what motivates them to come in and buy during the week, or would they actually buy a 2-gram card, or would they rather buy 2 1-gram cards? They'll can tell you.
Yes, right.
And so
gamify
we have all that
anything.
data, and we have all those emails, and those people show up. So to have that kind of finger on the pulse is why I still justify it as a business thing, even though it's not. I mean, it's great; it's paid for, and I love Sketch House for doing that. But it's not. This isn't going to be the house that Hash Up Mashup built. You know what I mean? it's something we do for fun. It's something we do for the community. And I got to tell you, outside of the meetups and things of that ilk and our event, this is the event that we people can get together. And I've seen more people schedule meetings at Mashup because they know when their meeting's over, they're going to go talk to other people in the business.
Yes.
So I've come in to set up, and there's 3 cannabis meetings going on in the back patio. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? I'm like, oh, we had a meeting. We figured we'd get a drink and just wait for Hash Up.
Brilliant.
So I can't tell you how many people come right after they lose their job or quit. It's like we're like the LinkedIn of the cannabis community. They show up
looking for
like, hey,
handshakes.
I'm back out there again. And I've seen people get hired that way.
Yep.
So I'm proud of it in a way that's like it's something fun and cool that we do, but it's never anything I'm going to put on my resume.
I don't know. I would lead with it.
For me, it's like being the president of the Little Rascals. Like it makes you the coolest person in the room, but.
It's funny. When I was a kid, Brandon, I wanted to be the president of the Little Rascals. I was obsessed with the Little Rascals. I used to build clubhouses out of any cardboard that came into the house. So for you to say that, it's like, did I just turn myself into the president of the Rascals? Damn it, I knew I did.
You 100% turned yourself into Spanky.
Are you watching the Little Rascals? Who's your favorite Little Rascal?
What are you doing?
Are you watching Spanker Vision? Sinner. I could quote Tommy Boy all day long.
Same.
But you can get
masterpiece.
I'd look at the butcher by sticking my head up the butcher's ass, but I'd rather take the bull's word for it. Anyway, as I digress again. But yeah, Hash Up Mashup, Puff Up Pass the Mic, hashupmashup.com.
Yeah,
I forget all these little things we do. I guess that was behind me because we did that at MJ Unpacked. We had our little party and we did our little hash up around there. But
brilliant.
You ever listen to a guys blast?
Are you guys working with?
It's like I told Rachel, I'm like, every song still has to be a banger. So if you're not, playing, you're having a good time. Trivia is boring. It looks like a bunch of people playing chess. This is like everybody's hanging out, talking, whatever, and they're just looking at their phones every once in a while, going, oh, and then they're back to whatever they're doing. So it's real communal, and it's like you don't have to shut up for the game. You got to shut up for the comedy, but you don't have to shut up for the game.
It's a real mind bender because you literally are like, I know this chorus, but the lyrics going over it are throwing me off. I mean, you really have to concentrate to figure out who are the two musicians on this track. It's unbelievable.
The smartest thing I've seen is when couples come in and play separately, because they almost always dominate the board together, because what they're doing is they're only playing differently when they disagree with each other. So they're essentially 1 and 2 almost all the same time. They're just giving, like, whenever I see couples playing on the same phone, I'm like, you guys, it's free. Get 2 phones out. Your odds are better. Like, what are you doing? And then if you don't agree on something, you just push your own answer.
Yeah.
And instead of fighting for 5 minutes over whether it was Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
See, the second time I went, I played as a couple, and I had the best strategy. I just disagree. Yeah, I just disagreed with myself. And so I gave 2 answers each time.
For about 20 minutes, we're like, Jesus, is Brandon really going to have that much of an issue over that song? I mean, that's why we don't invite them out.
I'm not they them because of my gender. It's because there's multiple people up top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything
Doug,
I've read today, you're welcome.
No, I mean, so we always like to ask our guests what they're listening to, and I know I cannot wait to hear this one. I cannot wait.
It's not a mashup of all things. It's so funny. I've been listening to audiobooks right now. So you're asking music. I'm actually listening to ADHD 2.0 and Reboot. I listen to a lot of business books. You probably, if somebody saw my Audible collection, they'd be like, this isn't his. I mean, my Audible collection looks like, it looks like I'm some startup nerd that doesn't leave the house and only works on computers. Like all the thought leader stuff, all the leadership things. Like I can go up. I mean, I could spit logic on those books all day long. And because I ran startups, so I know I read self-development and business books are like my jam. It just keeps me rolling. And then I like to learn more about myself. So that's the ADHD. Music wise, you know what's weird? I've been listening to a lot of Wu-Tang lately. Not that I don't listen to Wu-Tang a lot, but I know they're touring right now and there's some new material out. And so it's kind of been on the playlist. And and I've been throwing back a lot. Actually, I had the Locks on the other day, speaking of stuff. And I'm trying to think of what's new that I've been checking out. I go through phases. Where I'll just listen to hip hop, and then I'll be listening to rock or whatever. But yeah, I was trying to think what new albums I got. But the only new album I just got that I'm talking about is, I don't know if you saw it on the channel, but I got a Cheech Chong Big Bamboo with 2 original rolling papers in it.
Hey.
I don't know if you're aware, but it came with like a giant rolling paper. I was at the record space, and I was talking to Don because we had done Punk Rock Flea Market, and he's the promoter for that. Yeah. And as I'm talking to him, because they had a movie coming out or something, or they did, I guess it came out. And I look to my left, and he's got a whole display of Cheech and Chong stuff, and I just look down, and I see the Big Bamboo, and I'm like, and I go, is it? He goes, yeah. He goes, not only is it in there, there's 2 of them. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, yeah. And I go over, and it's like 2 pristine rolling papers in there. So I'm like, $60 score. It's still been sitting on top of mine. It's been sitting out. I haven't put it in the record collection yet. We did a little reveal thing on the show, but it's like, to get the OG paper. See, this is how much of a weed nerd I am. I'm like, and most people are like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I'm an OG weed nerd. I'm like, this is nostalgia, man. This is how I learned. But anyway, so technically I am listening to that. So that's everything that's going in my ears right now. Besides Greenway Audio Magazine, which great episodes the last couple. I didn't finish the Maddie interview. I want to go back and finish that because I love her to death.
It's good.
Man. She's a client and a friend, and
she's amazing.
Champion at this industry. You got nothing but mad respect for that woman, so I'm glad you had her on.
Oh, so good.
And the products, I just gave somebody one of her patches today.
Yeah.
That's like the gift that keeps on giving. Anytime I could be like, oh, you're in pain? Take care of this.
Yep.
Actually, true story. I had a buddy whose mom, late 70s, a year or 2 ago, had a horrible knee issue. And they would invite me over for Thanksgiving. I'm like the Fonzie situation. Like, he's in the basement anyway. It's, what's he going to do? Ride his motorcycle and talk to chicks? Hey. So they have me over. And she's complaining about her knee. And so I call her like 2 days later, and I'm like, I'm going to bring something by for you. And she brought it by, and she wasn't a consumer or anything. I'm like, I can get you high or anything like that. You can actually cut them in half if you want. She's originally from Springfield, which I thought was even funnier because that's Heartland's like home base pretty much. Yeah. And I said, just do me a favor and hit me up with like a little review, or let me know if it works so I can get, something back to my client, or at least, know how it went. And I got like this like dissertation from her text. It's like this huge text about day 1. It was like she was going on the Oregon Trail, but she 9 days, no pain, 1 patch.
Wow.
She started writing home to Springfield about it, told all her friends. And I won't say other brands, but I'm like, don't get this brand, get this brand. She's like, I told them not to buy that other one. And she's like sending. So there's all like these people in the senior circuit all over like the St. Louis and Springfield area. Like, I need the Heartland patch. And it's, it's because the product is freaking amazing. Now, a little side note to that. I was at an event with Artist First that I'm on the board for. His wife is the executive director of Artist First. So her mother-in-law, his mom, is there at the event. And this was a few years ago. I look up. It's so weird when you see your friend's mom smoking weed, even when you're 49 years old. But I look across the table and she's smoking a joint with my weed in it. Like, she's like, and I'm like, and he never saw her smoke weed. And he's sitting next to her. So I look at him and he's like, and I guess his uncle was getting her high and he didn't know. But, and I'm just like, Sue. She's like, what? I'm like, you getting high? She's like, yeah, it's good. I'm like, I grew that. Like, I was so proud. Like, yeah, I grew that for you. Like, it was just like this moment, like, ah. And then she practically, like, couldn't shut up the whole way out because it was super lemon haze. And, like, she had not had something that strong as sativa look. And she was just like, I'm like, we're off in about 30 minutes.
Well, Doug, I knew this hour would go by in like 2 seconds. And
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah.
It did.
I blame the
Thank
crap.
you. Yeah, well, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. You are one of my favorite people in the industry and on planet Earth in general.
Oh, thank you.
You do a lot for this industry. You do. I mean, you're everywhere, and you have been for a long time before this was even an industry. So thank you for all you've done for Missouri.
I did it for the weed, man, and I do it for us, and I do it for any consumer that. First time I ever smoked weed, it was I became not a different person, but it opened up things in me that I never knew were there. And honestly, it's been something that's maintained with my issues. It's something that I've been used to maintain balance and wellness as long as I can remember. So I'm just wired. If I'm passionate about something, I'm going to go out and do what I do about it.
It's obvious, dude.
Like when I was in college, people just wanted me to shut up about weed. I was one of those people that it didn't matter what the conversation was in class. I somehow got it back to why weed was still legal. Didn't matter what we were talking about. I was like in a media law class. They're talking about some Aerosmith lawsuit, and I'm just like, "This is the same thing that's going on with prohibition of cannabis." Like, I could not shut. I was like 19 years old, speaking under the arch, like we will overcome. But it's just because I personally just have a deep love for the culture, the community, and the plant. But I also love, like, you guys are friends that I've made in this industry, the relationships I've built. It wasn't going to happen anywhere else. And we all did it because we were all in this together. That's something like, you come out of almost, I'm never going to steal any value here. I don't know what it's like to go away to war or anything like that. But what I'm saying is just like there's a camaraderie amongst us because we battled something and we persevered and we got through it. Maybe we all didn't agree about it. Maybe we all didn't get along the whole time. But we did this shit. We're still doing this shit. And that's something I really love.
Yeah, I love it.
So, yeah, I'm not going anywhere, whether you like it or not.
Good.
And any motherfucking poo-poo.
Good. Well, Doug, thank you. You're the best.
Thank you, guys. Do you want me to leave now?
No. We love you, buddy.
Act like I have a manager. All right, wait, he's saying I gotta go. It's like Stern. Like they only gave me 2 minutes. I gotta be at I gotta be down the street.
Got another thing. Got a thing going.
I'm doing a junket today.
Thank you, Doug. You're the best.
Deuces.
See you, buddy. Love you.
Love you, man.